Hello and welcome. Today I'll be analysing the universe of RWBY. But first, I'm going to quick rundown of the basic of the anime so you have a basic understanding. RWBY is a Japanese style anime which is made in Austin, Texas. The anime is about four teenage girls who form Team RWBY. They train to fight crime and monsters known as Grimm, while their world is on an all-out brink of fall. Now, let's get to analysis. First, I'll be analysing the animation style, then the sound design, if you want to learn. Then I'll be on to the character model. So, let's get started. Monster Unu the creator, wanted to make a 2D toon shade look. The creator wanted to make a two-dimensional toon shade looking anime, but with all the depth and complexity of a normal 3D production. He accomplishes by calling Ellen-Lee-chan. And which he was a big fan of her artwork, and she created the original designs of RWBY, of the characters of RWBY and assets. And she created the original. She drew the characters and assets which Mortimer tried to recreate best he could in a program called Mayor. And then he animated them in poster. But because of the way Mortimer combined and created the assets, they turned out a little rough. And rudimentary when compared to other high-end budget animes at the time, like Attack on Titans or Naruto. But that's what made it stand out. That's what made it unique. And to be fair, the rough look did only last a short time. Because during the Volume 2 break, Team RWBY went through a pre-production phase, where they decided to give the anime a more detailed and defined look. To make it feel more immersive, by giving side and extra characters proper appearances and looks. Unfortunately, Mortimer died while working on the third season of it, which led to a lot of changes in people's lives and jobs. But regarding the anime, it led to a complete overhaul of software, style, and feel. Kenny Strongcross, who is now the head of RWBY, along with Miles Liu, and the rest of the cast, completed the third volume using the original software, and style. But after that, they switched to May entirely and gave the anime a new, upgraded look. The new upgraded look gave the assets, characters, and scenes more depth, detail, with a dash of realism, while still keeping it a 2D toon shade look the Mortimer wanted. And as the anime went on, the animation only got better and better. Now for the sound design. In RWBY, the sound design is a huge part, it's a huge component. The sound design is what engages the watcher, makes them feel like they're really in the action. The sound design in RWBY is done after everything else. The audio team starts with the video, the visuals, and dialogues. And they basically have to create a whole world of sound from that. They do this by using whatever they can find to enhance and help them create the sound they want. For example, the normal fight scene punches. For example, the normal fight scene punches are created by performing a punch themselves and then adding something like bone and adding something like simple cross tear or celery crunching to get that more impact and feel. You get more of a whooshing sound. But as you just saw there, Yang's arm guns is something they had nowhere near of what they had to make. So they combined a bunch of different firearms and a jackhammer frequency to try and get that perfect perfect sound. And that sound was created in the mixing department of their audio. They go through the visuals frame by frame and decide what goes where and when it will stop and when it will play. They must make sounds to impact and create all their consequences we heard in the scene. Now lastly, the character modeling. For most of the characters in RWBY, they grab an already existing character or object and remix it into their own design. And you can tell by looking at certain characters, such as RWBY or Yang, who is obviously based on Little Riding Hood and Goldilocks. But others, they decide to throw a little bit of a spin on us, like Team Juniper, which are all based on process legends, but they have taken the processing part out of it and decided to gender bend them entirely. Others are a lot harder to spot, or even know what they're based on, such as Crow. Crow is obviously based on a crow, and also is also based on a crow, and looks similar to Rui as he is her most as he is her main role model. But funny enough, he's also based on a scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. This is which I had no clue that until researching this. Which I had no clue about until researching this. But as for the designs themselves, during different volumes, they make changes to make sure they fit in with the tone and themes of the in the current seasons. For instance, after season 4, after volume 4, the characters had a after volume 3, the characters had a huge loss and lost most colors in their outfits for that reason. They just lost the main battle, and many people have lost their life. So all their tones for their color was drained out. The main cause was depressed and worried things wouldn't get back to the same as they used to be. And on that note, I just bring my analysis to a close. So, goodbye.